In this question, we're presented with composite functions, and we have to solve an equation, and it's presented in the form of function machines, which is something that doesn't really appear in the IGCSE. It does appear in the GCSE, and it does appear in some of the earlier years on the course. But it's quite an interesting question to actually try and break down. So what we have here is we have function A, we have an input, we add 5, and then we multiply by 3, and we get an output. The second function machine, we have an input, we multiply that by 2, we then take away 1, and we get an output. And what they have here is the composite is function C, where we do function A, so whatever goes in and then comes out function A, and then that goes into function B, and then whatever comes out is my final output. So it follows a train basically of 4 steps, plus 5 times 3 times 2 minus 1, getting to my output. Now it says the input of C is x, so that means x goes in here, and the output is 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1 comes here. And it says find the value of x. Well, if x goes in here and C is made up of a plus b, basically x is going into this bit here. So the first bit we're going to do is actually going to write it on. I can say, okay, x is my input here. If x goes in, what happens? Well, I add 5 to it, so that gives me x plus 5. Then it goes into the next box and it says multiply by 3. So if x plus 5 goes in, I get 3 multiplied by x plus 5 is my output. Now that output becomes the input in for function B. So I put 3x plus 5 into my function B. I multiply that by 2. So I'm going to get double that, which is 6 multiplied by x plus 5. And then I subtract 1 to get my output, and I get 6x plus 5 minus 1. Now the question says that the output from C is 2x plus 1. So that must equal my output here. So I can write down that 6x plus 5 minus 1 must equal 2x plus 1. It comes from the information they give me in the question. Now I have an equation with one unknown, and I can solve that for my value of x, which is what the question asks for. So if I expand out the left hand side, I'm going to get 6x plus 30 minus 1 equals 2x plus 1. Tidy up a little bit, we've got 6x plus 29 is equal to 2x plus 1. Take 2x from both sides, so I'm going to get 4x plus 29 is equal to 1. Subtract 28 from both sides, I get 4x equals minus 28. Divide by 4, x is equal to minus 7, which is the answer on the mark scheme. So to recap, with a function machine, an input goes in and you do various different things. Make sure you use brackets if you're doing adding or subtracting to keep this as an entire thing. And in this case it's a composite, so whatever the output is here, it becomes the input here. And if you just write them all on as you go, you can show the line and show the progression of your mathematics. And then just double checking if that's the output and this is also the output. If two things are the same output from the same input, therefore they are both equal, and then we can solve the equation.